something done in an hour, this is actually not that bad, but being completely critical, this is bad, and stuff. It had some pretty crappy scenery, pretty crappy handmade character, but a good attempt, I must say, for someone who's just joined 3DMM. Jimmy needs to try a lot harder. If he intends to win this competition, he can't just do something in an hour and just pretty much say that's it. This is going to be short because this was very short and very boring. But music was okay, I guess. I guess it fitted in okay. But scenery, animation, bad. All that happens, Jimmy runs in and kills the security guard when he's supposed to kill his opponent in this competition. I don't think that his opponent uses a security guard style character. Nothing more to say. 3 out of 10. Meh. I gotta say that I had some mixed feelings about this entry. Quite a lot of it, because it had some fairly good points and some bad points when it comes to every single category you can think of for this entry. Animation, some good points with the handmade characters and beating up Samuel Deacon on the train, and then there's some bad parts which are kind of pointless. Scenery, very good parts at the very beginning, but then it got a little boring. Kind of like more like Jack Buzz's entry, because in the beginning, setting the scene with all these buildings, and then when Samuel Deacon comes out of the sewers and he's about to be beaten up by a slimy handmade character, all the buildings are gone. It's just brick walls and everything. It's kind of strange, but yeah, one thing I'd like to see is that it's got to set the scene fully, so pretty much like a real world. Because I mean, if you're in the real world being beaten up in the sewers by a giant slimy monster, and then you're going to come back up again, the buildings aren't going to disappear, are they? No, non pas. And I think the texture for the handmade characters is quite original. It's never been used before. I love the scene where his eyes opened up, and yeah, good. Nummy num num. Betty bon bon. I got nothing more to say, unless you want to hear my retarded voice over and over again, so I'll just say one more thing. 6 out of 10. Alright, we got Jack Buzz's entry, and I thought it was very nicely done. It was original, had some great HMCs and animation, but being completely critical, you can see there are some pretty big flaws. One thing I just need to point out, the part when you see Jack's character and his little friend walking down the street, you can see the blue building in the background, right? Then when you see Red's characters, it zooms out just a shot, yeah, blah blah blah. He gets the gun out and shoots the gun. See the bullet flying down the street, and then suddenly see the bullets hit a lamppost right next to the blue building. How can that be when the blue building is behind him, not in front of him? Jack, I think you need to do a bit more thinking. Okay, next we have the handmade characters. Now, Jack does a good job completely dissing Red Scorpion, like chucking a big pole for his stomach, hitting him on the head with it, kicking him, punching him, stuff like that, as well as Red doing a bit of dissing back, killing his best friend, well, killing him, and then he suddenly comes back to life after he's being shot in the head. Another flaw to me, I think. But the transformation into the Red Scorpion proper, Red Scorpion's Pain of Love character suddenly transforming into a Red Scorpion guy, I think that's pretty nicely thought out. And the fighting, well, shortly after the transformation it did look kind of lazy, and I think it needs to be a little more thought out next time. But overall, this is definitely one of my favourite entries. I'll give this a 6 out of 10, and I don't think there's much more to say. The music was nice, definitely gotta say that. I've run out of things to say, and I'm sick of hearing my voiceover. Yeah. Occasionally Red Scorpion shows that he's got some talent in 3DMM, but this does not show that he has any talent. This was awful. It was bullcrap. Well done, Red, you told something true. This was bullcrap. It had some pretty lame scenery, despite the fact when it sets the scene, it is bad at first. So I can't really complain that it's nothing disappearing. So yeah, it does set the scene very nicely, but kind of badly. because there's nothing much to see in the scenery, just walls and floor. This looked kind of lazily done, because it had Red running around constantly, falling over, other characters falling over, and then he's suddenly rolling boulders, kicking random guards, which I must say that was poorly animated. It was plain, but nothing special when it comes to this being an animation competition entry. I must say this has nothing special to say about. This was plain, unoriginal and boring. I've seen you do much better, Red, so please think about this a lot more next time you wish to enter something that you're supposed to try and win, because this is a loser. 4 out of 10.
It's not difficult to see that Jimmy DeMarco is pretty new to the community, but in saying that he still managed to pull off an adequate animation. Pretty short and to the point, it shows us how a man is sent to heaven and refused entry, and although that isn't a brilliant theme, it was finished moderately. The scene was the biggest letdown for me, with large chunks of the wall floating back and forth with camera movements, and reasonably awkward use of actors and polygons. As animations go, Jimmy still has a bit of improving to do. I gave this 5 out of 10. Diabolic almost had me hooked with the first part of his animation, flying through his city and into its underground train system, until the scenery started to lag and most of the fighting began. The fighting was okay, but as a whole it had a long way to go. The camera work is really what this presentation is about, and for the most part it was pulled off nicely. It faltered in a few places, and this is very noticeable, along with the poorly used sound effects and not entirely well-themed music. I think the main thing Diabolic needs to grasp is the attention to detail, which is so important. The film stands as it is a very watchable feature, its best points being the attractive use of 3D words, but pick up on the fine-tuning and you'll have a well-finished film. I gave this 7 out of 10. Another decidedly random scene was produced here by Jack BZ, showing clear signs of animation experience and scene building. Not so much as a plot as someone who attacks and kills an HMC monster who shoots his friend, but this is passable as it's the animation that counts. As a whole, the animation was very well done, if a little slow in places, and the music and sound effects were well rendered. Overall, this is a very good animation entry and deserves 8 out of 10. Quick shots and clever angles make up the best parts of this action short by Red Scorpion, which in itself makes for a watchable film, but does not make up for the not bad action but relatively awkward use of 3D words. There is fitting music and sound effects, but not so great to the extent that it draws away from the overall fairly lackluster animation, which is really what it's all about. It isn't a complete flop, and it gets away with what is seemingly a decent fight scene, with albeit rather simple scenery, but definitely it isn't Oscar winning. I gave this 7 out of 10.